BigFooty Blues. BigFooty Blues. BigFooty Blues. Come on, the BigFooty Blues.
And we're back. Yes, it's episode number 1 of the 2016 BigFooty Blues Podcast. I'm your host, ODN, and with me tonight, welcome to 2016, ShanDog.
Hello. Do we have a hoverboard yet? No? Okay. I knew it.
2017, that is.
Oh, that's the right time.
Oh, jeez. I tell you what. I know a lot of teams during the NAB Challenge have been resting their stars, and it appears we are too.
I just want a hoverboard.
Welcome back, MEB.
Hello.
HBF.
Good evening, everybody.
Ferris. Bueller.
I see what you did there.
Sorry, folks. He's a late scratching. Guys, there's not a lot to talk about. We've had one game of the NAB Challenge, or 1 week for all the teams. And there's been a few changes around the club, but I think we're just going to launch straight into talking about our NAB Challenge game and the changes that we've seen and what our thoughts are. On Thursday night at Aurora Stadium, Carlton played Hawthorn in the first NAB Challenge game of the season, our first under Brendan Bolton. A heap of new faces, heap of new coaches. And Hawthorn 8-5-53 defeated Carlton 4-8-32. Did we like what we saw?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I think you could tell sort of 5 or 10 minutes into the game that we'd changed our structures. We've sort of moved to the sort of a zoning. We actually were able to hold Hawthorn up a bit when they had the ball, so early in that first quarter. Yeah, I thought we looked really good. I really liked the look of Kerridge. I'm not sure how many stats he ended up having, but he had quite an influence over the game, and I think I posted in the game day thread that he could be like a bit of an upgrade on Bell. So I think he's someone to really watch throughout the year. I also liked Thomas's game down back. Well, I didn't like his haircut, but I thought he really did okay, and probably ended up with about 20 touches as well. So a lot of positives to take out of Thursday night, even though we lost.
Yeah, no, it's all about the haircut and the colour of your boots, mate. I'm sorry.
I think I'm getting old.
Just on the point about how well we were sort of zoning and pressing up on Hawthorn, Sam Mitchell made a remark about it. I read today. Just basically, Carlton are on the right track. You know how well we're doing, and that we're sort of Bolton's coming straight away and taught us these things, and you know, basically it was a little bit of positive reinforcement there from, let's face it, a pretty gun player.
He was actually interviewed on SCN.
Was he?
Yeah, so for all the guys out there that do listen to SCN, you would have heard him as well. And I think one of the lines that really stuck with me was he said that, you know, if you're a Carlton supporter, you'd be very excited by you know, what you saw on Thursday night, and it didn't sort of sound like he was like pissing in our pockets, so to speak. It sounded like he genuinely meant it, you know. And I think when you're getting praise like that from Sam Mitchell, I think you know, we're definitely, you know, on the right track for sure.
Bolton says, "Send me your checks in the mail." Thanks, mate.
Yeah. Just for the record, Sam Kerridge was our leading disposal getter, I guess. 28 disposals, led us in contested possessions with 17. Led us
lead is almost double the next person. Was more than double the next person. Oh no, 9 for Cruiser.
Yeah, 6 clearances, 8 tackles, the leader in those as well. That's a fair night out.
Yeah, it was. It was a brilliant effort for a first up effort at his new club. So.
Absolutely, and he actually used the ball pretty well too. Like I think there was a couple of scrub kicks here and there, sort of thing, but none of them were just like absolute burning teammates and turning the ball over directly that I can remember off the top of my head.
No, look, 71% efficiency, and so for you know, in a game where you're sort of 2/3 of your possessions are actually contested. 71% efficiency is really good. That's far better than Judd would do with those sort of figures. So
that's it. You heard it. ODN said he's the next Judd. Everyone write that down.
There's the title of the next podcast. I can see the thread on BigFooty now. You bastard.
You know what the title of this one is. Yep.
Yeah. No, Shan, you know, hell, I know we've been away for a while, mate, but you do know how this thing works. If MEB doesn't say something by the end of the night that's far more worthy, then I'm just not here.
I'm not speaking tonight.
Oh, dear. Anybody else stand out to you? I guess it was very interesting looking at the midfield. Some of the midfielders, Nick Graham also had a very good game, kicked a couple of goals. It's interesting that we were missing Cripps and we're missing Murphy, and just sort of wondering, so obviously those couple of players sort of really stepped in for us to sort of take over from those bigger names. It'd be interesting how the dynamic works once we get them all back again.
Yeah, Wiley was definitely very good. A lot of people sung his praises, which was pretty fair. I think he did a very good job inside in the midfield.
I think the highlight for me of the night was Boakhurst's run down that outer wing in the second quarter, where he used his speed to evade and sort of drilled the ball down Everett's throat, who ended up kicking a goal. I just thought that's the sort of thing that maybe we can expect to see from him this year, now that he's had a sort of a full pre-season under his belt. I thought that was that really stuck out for me, and sort of sat up and really took notice when he did that.
That's what he was doing in the Waffle, and its last season in the Waffle, and that's why they recruited him. Yeah. So it's really good to see. Well, it's just a matter of conditioning and confidence. So he's going to be a very good player for us, and make a lot of people eat their words.
Can I throw one out there?
Yeah.
This probably a bit contentious. Liam Jones. Pretty good game, actually, the half that he played. I know he didn't take any grabs, but I mean, he caused one goal directly from a turnover where he came bursting out of the forward 50 line to absolutely smash someone in the tackle, caused the turnover, and Nick Graham kicked a goal. His other tackles were big there. He was chasing hard, he was pressuring. I know, and people will say he's a key forward. His job is to take marks and kick goals. And that's completely true, and he needs to fix that up. But that's what we wanted to see for a long time from him, is actually effort.
Yeah, you want to see effort, you want to see application. However, one disposal
in
45% game time.
It's after that, Shannon. That is a joke.
We didn't kick the ball into our forward 50 much at all in the second half. I mean, look, have a look.
Oh, not much.
We scored 4 goals for the game, and they were all 3 of them in the first half. So
I tell you what, if he actually has a good game in a real game and not a NAB challenge, then I'll give you that one. But what does this mean? Nothing. Who cares?
Yeah.
I feel, look, to be fair, his effort was 100 times better than what it was last year. The tackle that Shan's talking about was that he bolted through the centre square and literally, I'm not sure who it was, but literally took the Hawthorn player out of his boots. That's how hard he hit him. So even if you just measure him on that alone, his effort was significantly better than what it was last year.
How low has the bar been set when you guys one tackle? One tackle is what you're hanging your hats on.
We're not saying that. We're just saying that his effort when he didn't have the footy was a lot better than what it was last year. Sure, he didn't get it very much either. I
like barracking for the underdog, I want him to come good, so many people go, okay, I was wrong.
I'm with you, Shan. I definitely see what you're saying.
Oh, look, I'll give you one. I'll give you one thing. I'll concede on one point. First comes effort, and then hopefully he starts getting his hands on the ball. His problem is he doesn't get around the ball. He doesn't read the ball very well, and he doesn't know how to track the ball very well. So he needs to work on that. But if his effort's there and his conditioning is there, there's no reason why that other stuff won't sort of start picking up once he can actually. Now that he can run a little bit more than he could before. He wasn't a standout on the track during the preseason from what I saw, but they all did the same work. Even if he was lagging behind, he's still got that same fitness, and he should still have that aerobic capacity and be able to run out games a little bit more than he could. But he's still behind in the pecking order. He's got to do a lot of things. at the lower levels first. Just want to go back to a little bit to Mark Wiley. He does seem to know where the drop of the ball is going to be, and he does seem to get to the drop of the ball a lot. So he reads the play fairly well. People said he was, really good game, and he's going to be, part of a strong midfield rotation if he keeps that up and stuff like that. For me, he's not the sort of player yet that is getting the ball out to advantage. He's getting it out, but he's not necessarily getting it out to the best option. So he still needs to maybe just sort of have a little bit more feel for the game. But compared to where he was last year, that was much better effort. So, maybe he's just going to slowly warm up to it. And once you get those stronger midfielders into there, and he's only he'll be number 7 in our rotation or something like that, then, there'll be a lot less pressure on him. But I'm certainly not singing his praises just yet, just thinking, it's baby steps.
I think he's in a very similar position to Nick Graham, who they're both about the same age, similar levels of experience sort of thing, and I think they're both on the way up, and if we stick with them, we might see some really good footballers come out of them. Yeah,
Nick Graham's way above Wiley at this stage.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Graham's way ahead of Wiley. Yeah.
He's just got his ability to sum up a situation and see what's unfolding ahead of him and whatnot. He just seems very, very professional, and he's a footballer. He's a real footballer.
Well, what he kicked 2 on Thursday night, and probably should have had a third one as well. That one he missed in the game. So for a midfielder to have 3 shots on goal is a pretty good effort from him. I mean, if he's not in our best 22 every week, I must be missing something, because he's easily best 22 for me.
Some of the senior players that I guess had been down last year that had popped their head up. You mentioned Dale Thomas in the back line a little bit earlier, and I agree with that one. But also Bryce Gibbs really, really looks smooth. He looks silky.
Yeah, you seem to move across the ground so much better.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's lighter or just fitter or something, but he seemed like someone who you'd give the ball to on the outside and will go for a bit of a trot, which is nice.
I think just to go back to Thomas, and you just touched on it then as well, Shan, I think I heard during the telecast that they said that Thomas is about 6 kilos lighter than what he was last year. So hopefully that'll help his body maybe get through the season or not, and help his running. Looks like they're going to play him down back, which I think is good. I would have liked to have seen him up forward as that small forward who creates some defensive pressure, but maybe they want his ball kicking ability down back to sort of help Simpson out. So yeah, I was very pleased with Thomas's game on the weekend. I thought he did really well.
One that hasn't got much of a mention, stood out for me. Not stood out, but just made me go, there's something there, more than I expected. Jed Lamb.
Yeah.
He hit hard. He was fairly ferocious as well. But,
I loved that physicality. It was good.
Yeah, absolutely. And he just seemed to fit.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is that he does, but he looks like a player, doesn't he? He looks like a Carlton player. You know what I mean? Yeah,
absolutely. And there's a heap of others that probably didn't get a lot of it and were sort of a little bit down on the night. I can't think of any. Okay, one more that probably deserving of a mention. Sam Rowe was decent.
Yeah.
He was named in our best. A lot of people disagreed with that.
Really?
Yeah. A couple of contested marks in there. So he got a little bit of the ball more than he usually does. He usually doesn't rack up the stats. So, his efficiency was very good. So he is still a leader out there, even though he's no longer in our leadership group. So, is that a segue into actually, because we haven't spoken about our leadership group, 7 players in our leadership group. I'm fairly happy with who's in and who's out.
Yeah.
What was that?
Get excited, you guys! You made it.
Oh, Cripper.
Oh my God, I'm gonna fight you all, honestly. You're lucky this is a video call because I'm glaring so hard right now, you mother effers.
Oh, no.
What page of the book are we up to? I've lost my place.
Oh, fucking hell. Come on, you guys, jump on. Dockety, woo!
I don't even know.
I am slightly pleased that Doherty is there, yes.
That was as close to a certainty as I could think of. You know, you've got to have a younger player in there. So Doherty there was not a surprise. There was a lot of debate about Patrick Cripps on the boards.
Mm.
A lot. And I remember posting, showing what Port Adelaide's leadership group has looked like over the last few years and how many and how everybody's come in when they're sort of 20, 21, 22, and you know that he was up to it, and obviously the club agreed. So yeah, up yours.
Not saying I told you so, but
yeah, I mean, I was a bit of a surprise to see Andrew Walker back in the leadership group.
Yeah, and no Jamo.
Yeah. I mean, Jamo's quite happy though to sit. I don't think he was dumped as so much as he's quite happy to step back. He just wants to be a little bit of a mentor this year, and you know, he said so over the off season.
Yeah, don't worry about the leadership group stuff. Just wear Wiedering like a glove.
Yeah,
like, make him your hand puppet.
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay, maybe not. But
I got the worst visual there. But there was a video that the club put out. There were a couple actually, and you could see whenever it cut to Jamison, Wiedering was pretty much standing right next to him, listening to everything he had to say. So as long as he concentrates on him and makes him into a star, then he's done his job, hasn't he?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what did you guys think about old mate Cripper getting in there?
I was thrilled for him. I sort of took the view that this his third season.
Yeah.
And for him to sort of grow into the club, I don't have an issue with him in the leadership group. But he's probably not going to have a sort of influential part in the leadership group. I think he's probably in there just to sort of learn about how it's run, and then he may step up as the years go by. But I mean, everyone seems to think he's going to be our next captain, and you've got to give him some time to get some leadership qualities under his belt. So maybe this year's going to be a learning curve for him, and then who knows from next year. But
so he's like the leadership group apprance. So they're going to be like playing pranks on him and paying him unders.
I don't know. He's so imposing. He has such an aura about him. Just watching him on the training track, and eyes are immediately drawn towards him. Everybody's there to see Cripps, even in training and some of the drills they do and stuff like that. And he's talking and he's encouraging. He's at the front listening, and you know, and he's teaching others. You know, if he's doing it anyway, age is but a number.
Yeah, which he wasn't. Which he was anyway. ODN. I mean, you know, you could see him at the games last year. You know, he'd be pointing and directing traffic quite a bit at stoppages. So he was already. You know,
Sorry. Like Nick Maxwell.
ShanDog has to leave us, folks, unexpectedly.
Dead now.
Yeah, that was a fairly hefty glare that he just got.
Oh, I can feel it burning all the way in Adelaide.
Oh, dear.
Look, to be honest, I was the one that was a little bit wary of Cripps going in so young, but I suppose it's a good reward for him. Like, he's always been the one to hire running coaches in the off season and all that sort of thing. So I guess it's kind of sending a message to everyone that this is the standard that's expected now, and he's going to lead from the front, and he was doing it anyway, so you might as well chuck him in there. I'm just glad that, you know, a lot of people were saying that he would be a great captain, but I think it's far too soon for that. So it's a good little apprenticeship for him. Yeah. And the next captain and VC is probably going to be Cripps and Doherty. What a combo.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. I'm already excited.
Our next game is against Essendon at Princes Park. I refuse to call it Icon, whatever it is.
No one calls it Icon.
At Princes Park next, when is it? Next
Sunday.
28th. Sorry?
Sunday at 2:05.
Yeah. Did I read something about Essendon inviting all their past players to go and watch that game, or is that for the home and away season or something?
That's round 2 in the home and away
Oh,
season.
home and away season. I thought it was round 2 of the damn challenge. I was going to say, geez, invading Princess Park with all your bloody ferals. God.
They wouldn't want to. I'll fucking kill them.
Oh, I would have had something to say to Doss, I'll tell you what.
Seems a strange thing to do at any time, really. It's Essendon to all their former champs and great players. Like, come see how we've ruined the club.
Yeah. Come see how we spat on your legacy.
Yeah.
There's the title, folks. I knew it would happen sooner or later. Yeah, so we've got a few players to come back in potentially. I don't know if Murph will. I think he'll play probably the game 3. But I'd say for sure Cripps will. We need some match simulation with that midfield, with the new guys in there, with the likes of Kerridge and that working, to get Cripps into his number 1 sort of extracting position to see where the others are going to fit from there. So I think they need a couple of games together, match simulation, just to get that sort of combination going. But will we see Jacob Wiedering?
Yeah, the club said last week that they really just wanted to take Wiedering and Mackay down to Launceston, sort of just to give them a feel to, being on the road with the club. So they've come out and said that they will play this week. So it'd be good to see those two get a game, and hopefully Cunningham gets a game as well. I think he'd be
surprised he wasn't there actually.
Yeah, same. Yeah, so hopefully we see him on Sunday as well, which will be good.
I'm sure we'll see Dillbucks too, will we?
Oh God, yes. I think it'll be good, just even purely from a marketing perspective, like against the old enemy at our spiritual home on a Sunday afternoon. It would be better if it was Saturday, but you can't win them all. They're expecting a big crowd, so I'm so excited to go to this one. I reckon we're going to put on a good showing. And even if Sosos just walks past the ground, I think everyone's going to freak out.
Yeah, look, I think Essendon will play a fairly strong side. All their sort of mature age pickups, former premiership players and whatnot. They'll. It's in their best interest to generate a bit of enthusiasm, so they'll play all those guys. So I sort of hope we do play close to our best side, just to make sure of a win. Because we also need that sort of little kickstart with our memberships. We're hoping to get 51,000 by round 1, and we're still in the 30s at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, like 38.5, I think.
Yeah, so that seems a long, long way away. Actually, let's talk about some of the changes around the club. There's been the mood has been fantastic. The vibe has been fantastic. The inclusion of the fans. Just during a little mini break that you guys will never get to hear, we talked about some of the changes to our media team. Emily Angwin has come into the club, and she's a Channel 7 reporter and seems to be a very passionate blues person. And it's just been a breath of fresh air,
Yeah. If you are listening, Emily, please respond to my email. I don't think she is, though, somehow.
I think she's got better things to do than listen to you, mate.
It's just hurtful.
She likes my tweets. Maybe I should email her.
I think I CC'd you in on it. It doesn't matter.
Did you?
Yeah, no. Well, anyway, we'll see how that goes. Trying to get some players on the podcast again this year. Now that we've had a change of staff, hopefully we can get some traction with that. Would be good. But all the staff changes seem really positive. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Where I was thinking, that's a bit of a controversial decision to appoint that person. So I think things are looking great.
That's
It's like a completely different vibe this year. There's like a whole lot more professionalism, even with things like videos and interviews. Seeing snippets of all the players, seeing that Cunningham goal. It would have been quite a few weeks ago now, where Bolton set in the challenge to kick the goal and he did it in front of everyone. Just things like that just create a little bit of buzz each time you watch them, and it's a nice way to get all the fans engaged before the start of the season. And they've been doing member profiles as well on Twitter and stuff. So it's just completely different. It used to feel so closed, like a closed shop, and we didn't really have as much access, and now it's kind of like they've flung the doors open and they're like, we're not hiding anything. Things are changing. We know where we've been and we know where we want to go. So I like it.
Yeah, it's been good, and they've done that. They had that initiative where the staff, they get the staff down to training and want them to feel part of the team as well. So they'll sort of come out of their offices for a day on a rotational basis and go and actually, spend the day with the football department and, what they're doing. Now, I went to a couple of training sessions when they were on the Gold Coast, and right at the end of their last session, they all sort of stood around in a group with, arms around each other in a big circle and stuff like that, and all the staff came in and, and whatnot. And there were a couple of ladies there who were basically looked like they were pretty much in charge of the eskies and the drinks. Water boy. Somebody turned around and actually ushered them into the group as well.
They make them fight in like the Circle of Fury or something?
Yeah,
it was friendly. Okay.
Two water boys in there, one water boy leaves. Yeah, something like that.
Oh my God, you guys! Honestly,
all right, listen.
Some heavy.
If it's okay for the players to be rusty at this time of year, what do you expect
from us?
Our
challenge potty. Don't forget.
That's it.
That's it. We're spilling balls all over the place.
Oh.
Sorry about that. I'll put that away. All right, we lost the plot.
They were having a cuddle in the middle. They got the esky ladies into the cuddle.
No. The point was that even the lesser staff, the ones who wouldn't normally be involved, they're there just to serve. They're there to give the players their drinks.
To get that token thanks at the best and fairest.
It was like, hey, you're with us. We're all together. It was all in together sort of thing. Nobody on the outside. So it's that inclusiveness that obviously Brendan Bolton has brought. So nobody feels like they're aside from the group. We're all in this together. So that very much rammed it home to me. Anyway.
Great story as well.
Yeah. Eddie bets 5 goals.
Hey! Oh my God, and a super goal.
All right, we're not going to talk about Adelaide players. Moving on. Anything else anybody wanted to talk about? What happened over the off-season? Changes around the club? What they think we're doing with our game plan and whatnot? What our expectations are based on the little that we have seen?
Oh, that's a big one. I like how varied the opinions have been on how exactly we're going to get. There's some people who are dead set, like, we are going to be rock bottom again, don't even think about it. And then there's others who are even saying that we might even get up to sort of 10th position sort of thing. So I'm not going to throw an opinion out there because then I risk being wrong. But I'm just going to say it's a lot of fun speculating.
Yeah, I think we'll be somewhere in that bottom 6. So I think sort of injuries and form and injuries to opposition players but yeah, somewhere in that bottom 6, I think, for us, for sure.
I'm not putting any caps on anything that we do. I think we're going to be a vastly different team. I'm hoping we are. At the very least, our attitude is going to be there. So I don't think we're going to see any players shirking the task this year. So I'm just looking forward to strap myself in for the ride. Whatever happens, there's no cap.
I think we've almost got a bit of a free hit this year, to be honest. And coach, new game plan, a lot of changes to the club. So I don't think the expectations on us are going to be really anything this year. So I think we can just go to the footy, or you guys can watch the footy and just enjoy it. Just watch the kids, watch the game plan. If we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. But we know that we're on a journey, and hopefully that journey sort of takes us to number 17.
Do you think Carlton ever has a free hit, though? Like, in all honesty, Carlton being shit sells papers.
This year, I think we just about do, yes.
I think we've got a sort of a St Kilda free hit here where they they finished on the bottom and they were sort of given that year to do whatever, and they exceeded expectations by how fast they're bringing on their young players and actually winning some games and so forth. So the expectations are really low. So we don't have much to beat.
look. Let me start off by saying I'm not a fan of John Ralph, but he was on SEN this afternoon as I was coming home from work, and he was actually saying the team that stood out for the most for him over the weekend was us. He said that he just didn't think we would adapt to Bolton's game plan as quickly as we did, and he even said he thought Essendon would beat us both times this year. So I think, and he's sort of one of the leaders in the media, certainly in Melbourne. So I think if he sort of thought prior to Thursday night that we're not really going to do anything this year, and that he's had his mind changed sort of one game in, you know, I still think the expectations are pretty low in the media. So anything we do this year, it's either going to be, well, we didn't expect anything from Carlton, or if we do something, it'll be, oh, geez, we didn't see that coming. Maybe they are sort of trending upwards a bit quicker than what we thought. So I think in every other year we probably haven't had a free hit. I think this year's probably about as close to a free hit as we're going to get.
Yeah. Oh, well, if we can convince Ralphie and maybe one or two people over at the Raw, then we've done well. I'm not going anywhere there. I'm leaving it alone. and I'm leaving this alone too. I think that'll wrap it up. All right, until folks will come back after the Essendon game and have a chat about that, because unless we lose, in which case we don't want to talk about it. We won't lose, so we'll see you next week. Thank you very much for joining us, HBF.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, ShanDog.
Thank you, and good night.
And thank you, MEB. Delightful as always.
Well, thanks, guys. XO, love you.
Awesome girl. What the hell?